Welcome to ArtClash. We're developers.
And this is our attempt at art.
I'm Megan,
And I'm Chris.
and we're picking random topics to draw from our game ArtClash.
Prehistoric Earth. Sad planet. That one sounds good.
There you go. That's a good one. That's what I usually do too. Just keep going until I find one that I think I can even attempt at drawing.
Alright, trying to draw sad planets. So, let's see. Probably the Earth. Since the Earth has people on it, probably be less sad because or more sad with what's going on there.
Very true. Very true.
Well, it says planets, so we'll have to have multiple planets. So we'll zoom in here.
So then what would be another one you'd want to do that would be very sad?
Let's see, Mars, since we haven't visited Mars yet.
That's what I was just thinking too. I was just thinking Mars.
Let's see. I'll put the opacity turned down.
You always draw better.
Circle.
Yeah, you always draw better circles than I do.
It's very sad, so draw some eyes. The first. Sad. How sad?
I don't know. He needs some sort of frowny face.
And
There
we're
you
done.
go. Nice big. Ta-da!
He has to be very upset. So.
Yeah, you could do like a grrr kind of face. I don't know, like a very angry, I guess. So turn it more from sad to angry, but.
Now I'm gonna become very sad.
Tears? Crying.
Oh,
there you go, that's a good one.
And then, nope, that makes him look like he's sleeping.
It was a little bit, right word.
How to make it look like he
has
has
unsure, I guess, with those eyes, yeah.
Kind of look like he's odd there. Has to be very, very sad right now. He just looks upset.
And you're trying to think. I guess you could try adding more of the details of the Earth and then come back to the actual facial expression. I want to do more of like with the.
It's always easiest to add Antarctic first.
Yep, I was gonna say just draw random land masses.
Arctic and then Antarctic. And then bunch of ocean close to the middle of his face, otherwise it's gonna look a little odd.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not very good at drawing content stuff. So I'll start with South America over here. It's got a little bit of tail. Bulky over here. So
yeah,
that.
way better than that. Yep.
Now there's not much room for the rest of them.
I literally just draw squiggles.
Florida.
Florida. There you go.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yep.
And that looks like Mike Tyson with his tattoo.
Exactly.
Face tattoo.
Nice face tattoo.
And then you're up over here. Those green line over here.
Yeah, definitely needs.
Like a pimple.
Poor Greenland.
Exactly. And then Africa over here.
Yeah, they get to go over the mouth or around the mouth.
Yeah, it might be kind of hard to, or it might kind of interrupt the flow of lines. Crappy Africa.
Yeah, so sometimes better than what I could come up with.
Africa, and there's not much room for.
Yeah, you could do something else on the side, on the top there. Yeah.
I'll just put whatever.
There you go.
Mike Tyson tattoo.
Birdie. So pretty.
It's hard to see where he is though.
Yeah, his eyes kind of lost in there now, but it's fine. You color them green, whatever, whatever color you do, and then the eyes would probably still stand up on top of it because they're already black, so as long as you do a different color. Yeah, you can do like a highlight or something underneath to kind of make them stand out more.
It'd be good to have a bit of a tongue in there too, huh?
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Smaller pen though. It looks more like he's crying, or he has something weird in his mouth.
Yeah, it gives it more character.
Well, maybe just have it sticking out a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you'd originally do. Whenever I do a tongue, that's usually my go-to.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty darn sad. Would be good to do the eyes differently, though, or
That looks pretty accurate for our current state of things in the world.
Yeah. Then I guess I should make Mars. How should we do there?
I don't really know
You're
much
looking
about
kind of worried about him.
Yeah, there you go, up above, kind of concerned.
Oh, that kind of draw your attention the wrong way, but
yeah. I don't really know what details Mars really has, to be honest.
he's just red.
That's all there is to it.
Pretty sure that's cap stuff.
You know more than I do on that.
Good enough circle. Big eye. Looking at him, kind of concerned.
Ooh, make it. I was gonna say, make it a Cyclops. One big eye in the center. Ooh, that looks good.
So you should be a little more looking at him.
Yeah, kind of looking, I guess, down. Yeah. Ooh, I like those faces. Those are fun.
I don't really know how you'd. Yeah, show that to Mars though. Quick.
So that's why you look up the reference.
Yep. So looking at the reference right now. Has a little bit of ice cap on the bottom, a little bit of ice cap on the top there too.
Yeah, it's a little bit like a. I don't want to simplify it, but kind of like the moon, but just brown and orange, but with a little more shadows and dark spots on it. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a tone of Antarctica in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's good.
And he needs more to his face though, like maybe a surprised look.
There you go. The eyebrows.
And then maybe the reason why he's surprised is there's a what's it called
the
spaceship heading his way.
it's an asteroid.
A little tiny space shuttle.
He doesn't want us here.
Yep.
Or he doesn't want us there.
Messing up that.
Messing up his planet.
Yep.
Can't say I blame him.
Maybe erase some details. Probably should look up a reference to a space shuttle too, because that doesn't look like much of a space shuttle.
That's pretty darn good though for one from memory. And it's pretty neat to see too that you can take an idea and then how you can expand it from that. I don't have thought of adding a space shuttle going to Mars. Yeah, it's pretty neat the different ideas that come from it.
Maybe look a little sad. Most of the booster rockets are gone by the time they actually get there, so.
And you just want to show that you have that triangular piece of it, kind of like the one on the far right, and then 3 in.
Straight down like that, and the buildings come off of there a bit more. And the boosters are actually 2 big boosters.
Yep. And you should draw a little bit of like fire or whatnot. Not fire, but yeah. Just coming out of them.
Yeah, and the tail too. Big boosters.
Here you go. Yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe bigger wings.
Yeah, that's really not a bad idea. Make them stand out
all
a
the way
little
to Mars.
bit. Yep.
Definitely doesn't want people over there right now.
Nope.
Let's see. Should add more detail to him if I can.
Yeah,
So it looks a little more suspicious.
I was gonna add color to them, but it's up to you. Since you didn't add color to the other one.
I was gonna wait until I'm molding the line drawing first, and then add color to it afterwards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So instead of being, I'll make him suspicious looking. If that's suspicious. Very narrowed eyes.
He's like, You turn back around. You can't come to my planet. Ooh, I like that.
Angry Mars.
Angry Mars, sad Earth. They go so well together. And if you did another planet, you gotta wonder what that emotion would be.
I'm looking more like he's concentrating on the shuttle, so he's almost cross-eyed.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I was like heavily focused on it and zeroed in.
Yep. Yeah, he's looking more at the shuttle there.
Oh, that's a really good expression.
Then, should we have a different expression too on his mouth?
Yeah, if you want to. It's up to you if you want to change it.
Yeah, I think that he probably be a little bit more upset. Yeah, there's a backwards expression.
Ooh, there you go. That's a good one.
Has to add more to it though.
Yeah, that's a good start to it.
That looks like he's happy.
Yeah.
I was trying to have more of like a teeth gritting kind of one.
Yeah, that's what it looked like you were going for.
It's more goofy.
That's
Goofy Mars.
Goofy Mars. The buck teeth of the one tooth.
There we go. Some more gritting.
There you go. There you go.
That is a little lopsided still though. But yeah, we can add color to it now. Let's see, I'll create a new layer. Oops, let's turn off that layer. Behind there. We're still filling in with some should have off black because they're black, so we won't be able to really see them very well.
Yeah, that's true.
Brush as big as it goes.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Could be a little darker than that, huh?
Nice.
If it's our screen or but it doesn't look quite dark.
No, that looks like
I
it's.
can't see it anymore.
No, yeah, that's like solid black now.
I can't see anything. So maybe we'll lighten it up in a little areas.
That's a good idea.
Make it look a little more like a star field in a way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
A tiny bit of red in the back.
Ooh, that's neat.
It's a lot of red though. Let's do some opacity on there. Let's turn on the middle some. Got a little bit blue. Just see them now. So then I'll start
a little bit hard to see.
filling them in. So give them a bit of a. See, I guess the Earth has a bit of an atmosphere, so I'll kind of add a bit of a blue atmosphere. Pretty
like a light yeah.
Blue around the back of it.
Kind of washed out, yeah. Oh, how cool! This is a really neat effect. This is a lot different than I expected.
Maybe it might need a little bit more blue than that.
Wow, that's really cool.
So something like that for Mars, but it's a bit of an atmosphere like that.
Yeah. Huh, how cool is that? That's awesome.
Needs to be a little bit smaller to get the edges a little better. Oops.
Yep, this will be 10,000 times better than what I would be able to come up with.
Sure.
Something to look forward to.
I'm sure yours will be good.
Megan's mediocre artwork.
Not at all. Both practicing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's all practice, and you definitely have more skills than I've ever acquired. So I'm still learning for sure, but pretty
more practice,
awesome.
but you have lots of skills too.
So
you have more practice more.
Yeah, you have more practice than I have.
Both of us need to practice a lot more. So we designed this art program for practicing.
Well, it's all about practice, yes.
Yeah, I think I still have the opacity down pretty far, so I'm trying to put a bit to kind of get the ice caps first.
You definitely have a good artistic eye. Like you added interesting details and different So a whole different what's it called, look and feel to it than I would have thought. So it's interesting to see where these pictures go.
Yeah, do the blue for them too, for the ocean. I don't know how dark I should make it because yeah, it's in space. I don't know what. Good to have a reference of the Earth pull up real quick. It's kind of more of a washed out looking color there, from what I can see.
Yeah.
No, it's actually pretty deep blue there.
Yeah, it's a deep blue, and see, like, there's the green, and there's some brown, I guess, too.
So yeah, it's pretty close to what color it actually is in
Yeah.
photos. I'm not necessarily going for photorealism at all.
No, that's nice to get a color that would be, roughly similar. So I looked at it and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Earth.
A little bit of a bigger brush, or the big areas first. Bigger. Oh, that's too big.
Yeah, it's hard to get just the right size so I can go
between
between
a little
things.
bit more, so it's a little bit darker going on.
Okay.
The big areas first, and then go back and do some of the other small areas, more detail. You get close to areas, you don't really want to overrun them too much, but
yeah.
definitely don't want to draw outside the Earth, because you might ruin the little bit of the atmospheric effect.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
But yeah, everybody's so far apart right now. Yeah, quarantine and everything. Yeah, it's nice that the internet can bring people together.
Yeah, it is. A lot of good people and some bad people come out though during these times, but yeah, in general, it's at least there's a lot of people that are either helping any way they can or just being there for people. It's amazing though where technology's kind of shown through with all this stuff happening, and not just Zoom, but everything else. Everybody else talking more through whether FaceTime or Zoom or all those kind of things. It's just amazing.
Yeah, thank goodness that the technology, as far as it is right now, otherwise a lot of people wouldn't be able to do their jobs or
we'd be
communicate.
Be a completely different it's like
situation.
Time period, and situation to be in.
It looks okay.
I think it looks awesome. You did a fantastic job, and you should be very impressed with it.
So yeah, I don't know what color it is. It's more of a green or a brown. So
I've always done a green, but again, that's just more generic.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it is more
between the two.
And then brown, but yeah, I was gonna say in between.
That's not bad, I guess.
No, that's a good one.
But the more we do this, the better we'll get at it.
Oh yeah. Practice, practice, practice.
That's probably not a good idea for me to have done a geography-based one right off the bat, since I haven't really studied what their
but you got the general
shapes
idea.
are. Memorize what the shapes are.
I wouldn't do any better. Probably worse. So you actually got the generalized shapes of those. I mean, you actually have an idea of what plants look like. Where, like I said, I would just drawn circles, squiggle. Nothing super realistic even.
Yeah, he still kind of looks like Mike Tyson to me.
No, he looks more like there. Now that's colored in, and it stopped looking like it a while ago.
Yeah, nobody's gonna identify that as Europe.
No, but they can tell roughly that it could be the Earth.
Yeah.
You got the ice caps, you got the ocean, you got the green land masses. I think you're pretty solid.
Yeah, a nice alien planet.
And don't forget the tongue.
Exactly. Going nicely. So we'll probably grab away from here. Smaller. That's the color picker way of doing it. To just drag the color down wherever you want to grab the color from.
Yes, I did that a couple times and I forgot to do it one time, so you have to remind me to do it in case I forget. But that was really nice.
Maybe color him in a little darker with the amount there. Positive to 100. Just because there's some gaps there. Oops. Got the part of his tongue.
Ooh, looks very nice.
A little more of the green here. Sharper with the 100% opacity though. I meant put it down a little bit. So there's a lot of things to blend a little better around the edges. These don't really need a separation, huh? Yeah. It's not actual line art though.
Yay! That's very nice.
Yeah, now I can't really see the what's called the spaceship, so let's go back to
Oh
the
yeah,
reference of the
spaceship's
shuttle.
gone.
It's pretty much just all white besides the nose is black.
Yeah. Yep.
I forgot to draw the nose in as black either. Wings are white. Yep, everything's white. I should probably a little bit of a white outline for the nose area.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
That shouldn't be pure white either, since it's space. So I might draw over them a little bit more with black too.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, not much detail there.
Yeah, but you get the general idea. You can see pretty well what's going on. You can tell that's a space shuttle or ship or. That's really good.
Yeah, I'll lighten it around it too, just to what's called make it stand out a little bit better. So it's my opacity is at 1%, so it should be good to brighten it up around there.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Also brighten up around the atmosphere a little bit more too, since it's not very visible now that there's color in there.
Ooh, that looks really nice.
Yeah, I was hoping to show up before, but yeah, it's kind of adding some atmosphere on top of the planet too.
No, that's a great idea. Yeah, I saw one of the other reference pictures too.
Just have some clouds on top there, but it might obscure the face even more.
Yeah.
And now for Mars, might be good to have some booster rockets on here. A bit of yellow and orange. 11%.
Exactly.
Explosion.
Oh, really good.
Yeah, I'll need stars and stuff too. So, bit of white. Problem is if I move the mouse too much or the pen,
yeah.
it's called makes more lines than dots.
Yeah,
like that one has a little bit of a line. So when I landed, it moved it slightly.
That's really hard to see it from my angle, but
I probably should actually, since it's already a little bit of brightness down there, I can make it look a little yellow from the sun too. Very low opacity, just to bring it in slowly.
wow, yeah, looks really good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Shouldn't there be stars inside the sun area, but if that is the sun area, I might have to do it past
You're going into more details than I could do.
There we go. That is a random sun in the picture.
That's awesome.
And probably should have a moon there too. But I don't really necessarily know if I need to. Since the sun is, it should technically be lighting up one side of the sun, not the other, or the moon, Earth.
Right, yeah.
Every other planet says what I mean.
Well, I just said moon, so makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. We're going a little past on this. Not 0. So it should be being lit up by that side over here. I was kind of just washing out the colors there. Might make it more of a white. See what that looks like. It's kind of helping a little bit.
Oh yeah, I can see it a little bit, yeah.
Go this side needs to be darker in comparison. So I'm going to do a dark blue to kind of darken this whole side here. Maybe darker than that. A little bit seems to lighten easier than it darkens.
Yep.
More opacity than that. So yeah, it's 2% opacity for white. It whitens it a lot, but there it goes. It's a little darker now. But not quite facing the sun dark.
Yeah, but still, like, you don't have to worry about all those kind of, making it.
Yeah,
really
make him
correct.
his eyes stand out a little bit more by putting a little glisten underneath his eyes.
Yeah.
So now you can't see it very well. So zoom in real close. Opacity's hopefully pretty low. Nope. Two. Let's try that. Nope, it doesn't really show up at all. It's like 8. I drew and it's at 10.
Yeah. It stands out a little bit more.
And not quite the look I'm going for though. Yeah, I guess it makes him look like he's crying.
Yeah, there you go. You got the whole sad thing.
That actually makes it look a little better. It looks like he's teary-eyed.
That was really good.
Don't know if that's where the highlight would go. Probably on top of the tongue.
It's usually at the bottom. I'm not sure. I think it's usually in like a little, like in the corner on the bottom, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's still on the top there. And also have a little bit on his mouth too.
There you go.
Yeah, it's opening up into the earth. It should be like fiery in there. I don't think a highlight on the bottom would work the same way though. Nope. I'm gonna move on the left side here a little bit just since that's where the sun's hitting. That doesn't look too bad. I forgot to actually color in Greenland. Or Iceland. Yeah, you just need more opacity. Yeah, that's pretty good.
There you go. Nice and simple.
Now for Mars, it's gonna be a little easier since he doesn't have to have all the details. So it's gonna have white teeth, white eyes,
There you go.
and white polar caps.
Perfect.
A little bit of
All white. White and red. Oh,
what's it called?
orange is red.
Do a little bit of details from the actual reference.
Yeah.
For the darkness, because that's what the surface of Mars actually has. And the ice caps are actually a lot less weight. Pull up reference again. Yeah, there's barely white on the top and barely white on the bottom.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll put this down quite a bit too. Yeah, this mark here. Increase the brush size. There.
That's a good color.
And the bottom is a lot more drawn in. Could be a nice little goatee on there too.
Yeah.
Give him a little right in, huh?
Give him some more character.
Yep. I'll just put it on the actual, what's it called? The layer. Line drawing.
Okay, that works.
There he goes.
There you go.
It's tough. And then a couple of little marks for making it look a little more standoutish. A little light, dark, or light red, or dark red. And then bigger. Yeah. So it's more of a, I guess, brownish color than a dark color.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at it, it does look a bit brown. Kind of spotted too. A little bit dark.
Yeah. Yeah, you add some pock marks too. Oops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer actually.
Oh, whoops. Yeah.
On the line drawing, so that's what's looking a little off. And let's blend it a little bit more. Opacity, looking color. So we can blend it a little bit more so it flows better.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do a little higher opacity than that.
Yeah, yeah, that does a lot.
That's a little too much, actually. Yeah, is it more of a shaded look?
Yeah, more shaded, yeah.
But might having a little bit of light on him too.
That's a good idea.
Low opacity though. Since the sun's a little more yellow,
I was gonna say, you're gonna add more.
more of a yellow color to it. Yeah, it seems dark. Alright, like he's getting some heat from the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty close.
And a little bit on the other side too. That's gonna be more cool colors probably. Goes away from the
Yep,
heat.
be more dark like on the earth there.
Blend in a little bit. Maybe a sky or something.
Mm-hmm. Give him as much character as you want.
Mm-hmm. Give him a little bit more atmosphere too. Just so it it's so nice from behind.
Mm-hmm. Make it pop out more.
Yep. Though Mars doesn't really have a ton of atmosphere.
Yeah, it's semantics.
Yep. And then I'll make a couple stars to stand out more. Did some really light opacity ones. Mark.
Yeah, when you start adding a bunch of them, they start standing out more, but first it's really hard to see them. But it's amazing how all the little bits of dots just add up and the whole picture stand out more.
And a couple big ones too, just some stars are closer.
Variety.
It's getting a little busy though.
Yeah, that's
And
really
some have
good.
different colors too. So, you know, red tinted stars and blue tinted stars.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty.
Too much. Just a really low size. And plus a couple of really bright ones. This me a little bit.
Ooh, that looks really nice.
And maybe I'll draw a little bit of the moon off to the side too. See, but without the line drawing here. So you can still roughly tell what's going on.
Oh yeah.
Just need to really draw in the eyes though.
Yeah, that line drawing really helps get things standing out more though. Ooh, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Line my moon a little off to the side here. So we'll mess everything up. Yeah, moon's right. Big.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll start with a little bit small off to the side.
That's a good idea. We've already got the sun in there pretty good. Ooh, that was really nice. Yeah, kind of like off in the distance.
Mm-hmm. That's not to scale, huh?
No, but that looks awesome.
And then we'll make it darker as it goes farther away from the mid sun. Higher opacity. Or lower opacity. Should probably blend that better. Lower opacity than that. Zoom in too. It's a little easier to see.
Ooh, that looks really good.
A couple of highlights too for when the lowlights and highlights for when credit actually hit and stuff like that.
Go for it.
Just teeny tiny little ones. Sort of like that, I guess. Should be different sizes and whatnot.
This is way more detailed than I would do. You got a whole scene going.
It should probably not be all the same size.
That's very awesome.
They all look like they're the same size then. And just a smaller brush. Looks too symmetric, or all put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
So that's Sad Planets.
You did a fantastic job, and yeah.
So we'll just see what Megan has to draw.
Which will be nothing compared to this, so do not get your hopes up. Alrighty. So, our difficulty 3, spin for topic. There's no way I can draw an elephant very well, so we'll do it again. Earth, Ariel, the Little Mermaid. I have absolutely no idea on that one. I already did planets one, so.
Prehistoric Supergirl.
No. I don't have.
Prehistoric elephant, that's a woolly mammoth.
If I got a reference, maybe.
That's up to you. You keep spinning for the top.
Keep going, see what happens here. Hairy Earth. He's also good fun. Can't do a dog.
You a laughing dog?
No, I'm not good with any Ron's. Mars or Unstoppable. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a different one. There you go, futuristic lemon.
You think you can do one of those?
I can draw hopefully a lemon. We'll see.
And then make it futuristic somehow.
I don't know how though.
With cool glasses or the
skateboard
from Back to the Future, all the stuff from Back to the Future.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I could do. We'll figure it out. Alright.
Or like Cyberpunk 2020. Or 2022?
2077?
That probably could be.
I wrote it. Alright, so start drawing.
And I did 1024 by 1024.
Okay, yeah, so change it in here. So how do you do this one? You actually type it out?
Yeah, it's on the computer.
So there. Oh. Alrighty. Now you can spin. Alright, so.
Yeah, but I have it on the old gray colors you wanted.
Yeah, I was gonna look at the reference. Get an idea of what lemon goes.
I usually do the black paint first to just kind of do draw the
outline of it.
Yeah, outline of it, and then I switch over to colors behind the layer, but you can do it whatever way you want.
Fine. Yeah, I drew lemon last time.
And you can also zoom in if you want to, so you can get closer, and that way you also have your canvas on the sides afterwards to be able to add more stuff onto it.
That's probably really easy on the outside. Let's see. I'm figuring out how to draw this thing. I was thinking like a banana shape, but it's definitely not a banana shape.
Yeah, it's basically like a circle, but with two knobs on both sides.
Nub things with it.
Nubs on both sides. Like Chandler Bing's nubs. You might want to have them. It'd be a lot smaller, so that zoom in here, and that way you'll have more room to draw like arms and legs and stuff like that too. Because if you draw it really far out like that, then you won't have much room to add stuff. But if you draw stuff kind of close up, like the whole lemon right here, then you'll have room to add stuff to the sides.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see here. The warp, but kind of a small shape.
Yeah, it's a very skinny lemon.
Yeah. It's like a pear kind of shaker.
Or something else.
Yeah, exactly. See, I'm not good at stuff.
You wanted to just draw yourself a nice circle, and then afterwards, then draw stuff on top of it to make it into a lemon.
Yeah, I can draw nice circles. So
it doesn't have to be a great circle. Yeah, that's not a bad circle.
That's lopsided.
It doesn't matter. Lemons can be lopsided.
Yeah.
So that's good. Work. And then try and change this shape on the top and the bottom to make it more lemony.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out here.
Well, it's more like the curve of it, so you can draw a curve onto it. Yeah, something like that, and then you'll erase part of the circle underneath afterwards. You make more of a smooth bump if you want on the top too.
Yeah.
I like drop the lemon on the top.
Guess I'm not really seeing it yet, but
and you can always erase stuff on the side, it doesn't really matter. It's not a big deal. It's your line work.
Yeah, so.
And you can always zoom in if you need to, try and look at more details and stuff. Because you don't have to always draw the perfect shape right away. You can kind of modify shapes after you already got it. Sculpting out what you like, removing what you don't like.
I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it.
It looks like a nice lemon. Looks like one you'd buy at Costco.
Yeah.
At least on the top. You'll have to work on the bottom afterwards, huh?
Apparently.
And remember, you'll have to erase the toggle.
That's awful.
And I guess some lemons don't even have the thing on the bottom either, so you don't necessarily have to do that. Instead, if you have legs or something like that, it might look like a scratch.
I'm trying to make it skin. Let's see. Maybe it's skinny or something. I don't know anymore.
That looks like a fine lemon shape.
Should I add more to the bottom?
No, you can add it later if you want. You don't have to. You can try and think about how is he futuristic.
Yeah.
You can look at Back to the Future references or.
Yeah, to the internet.
Or Cyberpunk. Yeah, like look at Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. Yeah, he's futuristic looking. He has a robotic arm. You could do that and give your lemon a robotic arm.
I'm good.
Go wild and do whatever you want.
Maybe just like Mars comes up. Oh yeah, the colors. Let's see.
Yeah, it all looks techno.
Yeah, it's like Tron. Trying to figure out. I don't see anything.
Even Blade Runner was futuristic.
Yeah.
Right now it's just bringing up techno stuff for just the word futuristic.
Let's see. I guess I could always go the hoverboard thing like you mentioned, but I know that looks like.
Doc also has some interesting glasses too, or Marty does.
He's got the Marty
kind of like we did for the dress-up game.
Oh, like the goggles, yeah.
Yeah, you can look up glasses in there too if you wanted to see it. And hoverboard's a related term.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Doc comes up and
yeah, see like those.
Oh, like those guys. Okay, I see.
So those would look kind of cool on.
Yeah, that's a great idea actually. Yeah.
That way you don't have to worry about drawing eyes, where you could draw the little dots behind there.
Yep. I don't know the best. I forget something. We'll see.
Yeah, just play with it. The whole reason for doing this is to practice and get better.
Yeah. So much of that's what I do.
Just you could always draw a line first where you want the eyes to be.
Yeah.
So kind of like they do for a lot of the drawing. And you're probably gonna just have them facing forward, or are you gonna have them tilted to the side?
I'm gonna face forward. There's no way.
An angry lemon.
I know.
Kind of like our bat from the Hinterlands. Remember that?
The what?
Bat.
Oh yeah, the bat. Betty.
With the unibrow.
Yeah, he looked a lot like Betty. Trying to figure out the shape. I'm trying to figure out. There you go. Trying to figure out the shape of the. Well, here we go. Okay.
You look very unimpressed.
I have enough glasses, so you're not with this.
Kind of what I should have done with the Mars too. Is give him a bit of a unibrow and then kind of sculpt it from there.
Ooh, that would have been a good idea.
Or else it made him look a lot more angry.
Yep.
Definitely have to practice cartoon eyes in the future. Yeah, he's got a nose bridge thing. Doesn't look too bad.
Very even though.
I didn't think about doing the nose thing.
I'll just copying one of the examples up there.
They also have those neat little bends that wrap around the head.
Yeah, I was gonna try to do that. It's kind of lopsided already.
It's a retro futuristic 1980s wrap.
Yep. Let's Let's see. Yeah, it's a very lopsided door.
It doesn't matter, just to
Not sure how the band
have fun.
is, but I know. It's hard doing. That was very odd to me.
But yeah, you can definitely tell it's lemon with glasses right now.
Yeah, I don't see the lemon too well.
Hmm?
I don't see the lemon too well. I see lemons is more of I see some more thinner. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's chubby lemons and skinny lemons. You know, all lemons are beautiful.
Exactly.
Prejudiced against lemons, huh?
No, just in my
That
head.
would
I
have to be
guess.
skinny lemons.
Well, I wouldn't say they're skinny, but that's right. All right. Oh, that would do for now. Well, that looks really odd.
Yeah, sit down, so it's the small stuff.
And the shape doesn't look right though.
Yeah, you could go back and you know, want to.
That's fine. Yeah, it just looks weird. Alright, so I guess trying to do some of the colors, I guess.
Oh,
I
you're
know,
gonna do
I did the band things. That's what wrap those around the head, I'm not exactly sure.
So you kind of want it to wrap around the lemon, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of like use 3D in a way, so it's curved, so that those bands would be kind of curved around him.
Like curved towards the top though, like that.
Yeah, they'd be going up because they're going around. Yeah, like that.
Like that kind of thing.
Yep. And I'm on the other side too.
Yeah. That's probably too much. Just a little more subtle looking. Yeah, that works, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah, it's fine for now. What do you think?
What else? Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah, you can also color it with another color later on.
Yep.
Whatever the color of the glasses are.
Yeah, it's good enough. There's anything like that.
And then what else? He's gonna have to have some kind of facial expression, right?
Yeah.
A happy expression or a cool expression, or
Yeah, so you can just have like a open mouth expression again, kind of, but I'm not sure the best way to go about this.
you can just play with the lines and see what
Yeah.
speaks to you. I hope the cats don't jump up on us while we're drawing.
Yeah, I hope not.
No, it's a happy chubby lemon.
Exactly.
Yeah, surprised.
You could be surprised to be in the future.
Exactly.
Can't
You
say
just
when.
arrived.
Yep.
The DeLorean.
There you go. Where's unimpressed?
Yep.
That's perfect. I like it. Let's see. Look at
It's
the
frustrating.
mouth. Yeah.
Any mouth's good. Mine didn't turn out great. Because again, we need to study cartoon
Yours was
eyes,
great.
cartoon mouths.
Yeah, that works.
Ooh,
you
so you
go.
might be impressed.
It
You
could
can give
be.
them eyebrows too if you wanted to make them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Both expressions of the characters. If you make them different shapes too, sometimes you can give them different shapes, like down lines to be angry, or
Yeah.
you can just you can do straight lines, you can do curved lines, you can do play with both straight lines to get what's called the general angle of the eyebrows, and then it's also good to give them some asymmetry. Make one of them up, one of them down, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Give them more
that's
interesting
true.
expressions. Like try and curve that one the opposite way. Like make it a,
Curving up.
or like instead of
down.
frowny face, it's more like a smiley face.
Smiley face?
Yeah, just try and make a smiley face shape there. See, you give them a different expression.
Yeah, it's good work. That weird eyebrow.
Quizzical. But it's just good to give them some kind of asymmetry. Yeah, it's just a toggle. You just toggle back on it's off.
Yeah,
Generally,
I see.
it counts as a hover state.
Yeah. That is decent then.
But try and give them different eyebrows on both sides.
completely different?
Well, just like different directions they're facing. Like that one, you could do just a straight line down or something like that. That worked too. It goes with this expression.
There you go.
And you can make them closer together or farther apart. Yeah, play with the spacing of them.
Yeah, something like that, I guess. That works. Alright. That could work.
Okay. He's gonna have some kind of arms and legs, and then the hoverboard, or some other things to make them futuristic.
Maybe. Glasses are extremely lopsided. Not like them.
That's fine. For the general shape.
For legs and arms, I can do stick figure kind of things. That's the best I can do.
Yeah, it's easiest to do like Mickey Mouse type arms. If you want, you could look at Mickey Mouse just to see for reference. Those are usually pretty easy. It's basically like two lines for the arms. Yeah, kind of making it almost like a square. Look up Nicki Minaj, not Mickey Mouse.
I look up Mickey Mouse, but change that.
Nicki Minaj arms.
I'm doing that.
But see, you can. It's called. It's basically just two lines and then a bit of a glove. You know. You can look up Mickey Mouse hands.
That's fine, I guess.
So you just draw two hands for the upper arm, and then you turn at a different angle for the lower arm. And then you have to connect it eventually, but yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Just put the arms in whatever position you want, and then do another two lines to move. So that's the upper arm, and then you want to also do another two lines for the lower arm going in a different direction.
Maybe on this side.
Not like on the same side. So he has an upper arm and he has a lower arm. So you want to draw two more lines to be a lower arm. So like your forearms.
Yeah, I guess it's too long then. How would I bring it all?
Yep, see, now he has, see, upper arm and a lower arm. And from there, you just do a wiggle for the hand, or you can do the, he usually has a C shape for his cup, and then, yeah, that works. It's like a good Lucky Charm, or what's it called, four-leaf clover.
Yeah, exactly.
And try and make that one go in a different angle, just so it looks more visually interesting. Like maybe like he's surfing on this, what's it called, the skateboard you're gonna have. So have it out or down or whatnot, forward. And now he's looking cool, huh?
Sort of.
Yeah, you gave him a thumb, but you didn't give the other guy a thumb.
I don't know. I'm just drawing things.
No, you did a good job.
That's fine.
That one you had a good thumb.
There you go.
Yeah, but you want to give that one a thumb too? Just erase that little last bump there and change it out with the thumb. Kind of like you did with this side where you made it a big finger basically. So you want to get rid of that finger right there and then change it out with a bigger, yeah. And change it out with a big thumb. More like I did with the other one, where you go out and then this one goes down more and then goes out. So like that one you did.
Yeah, but I can't really replicate it.
So just go down with that one farther and then go out really far. Down farther though. Yeah, and then go out. Yeah, and then farther out though. And then maybe have it stick up a little bit too. That's how it works. That's good though.
Yeah, that's good.
And now he has the same number of fingers too, huh?
Yeah.
Four on each hand.
Yep.
You purposely did that, right?
Nope. Not trying to make it anatomically correct at all.
Okay, well don't add a wiener.
No worries there.
It looks like you're adding a wiener.
I'm trying to add a leg.
Okay, there's the wiener.
The foot. Why would it not be feet?
Okay, now I see it.
There you go.
Is he gonna be on a skateboard too?
Sure.
Or the what's it called? Hoverboard. If you wanted to, you can give them kind of like with the arms. You could do 2 segments, one for the one for the upper leg, one for the lower leg. That way he has knees too.
It's gonna get too long. Good one.
Try and give him a bigger angle on this foot, so like he's kneeling in front, so have it go out and then down, kind of thing.
To look like that.
Yep, and then down.
Like
See,
that.
that's a bigger angle now. Yep, and then draw the other half. See, and if you wanted to, you could even make that one bent even more, the back one. That way, what's it called? That way, it kind of looks. You erase the feet and then what's it called? Make it bent at a farther back angle. Or you can erase the bottom leg too. That way it looks like he's really riding the skateboard or a hoverboard. Yeah, even a stronger angle than that, you could go all the way over like that. Yep. And that's got some bell bottoms. That looks decent, right?
Yeah, I guess it's
now you can see where the what's it called, hoverboard would go, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit big. I'm not sure.
And afterwards, you could even put some nice, like futuristic looking towers in the back.
I'm not going into as much detail as you did.
You don't have to. Just what you'd want to do to really finish it off would be to draw a horizon and just basically draw squares for the
yeah, you know.
background. Look up hoverboard. What's called Back to the Future. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't realize it was a square on one side, circle on the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd.
And that one might be it too, with the green thing on there, green circle on the top.
Yeah,
that's very 80s looking though.
Yeah, it
I
is.
didn't realize that's what the 80s thought the future would look like. You got the direction. Well, now that really the other thing that makes it, I guess, is just the weird lines and the big circle on the back.
I didn't realize it was.
Alright, I'm flipping it over and having those 2 circles on the bottom, but
I gotta do lines on it, you said?
yeah, if you want to do that big circle on the back there, like just have a circle on the back. Yeah. I forgot what it was for. I think one of his feet clipped into it actually, so if you wanted, you could put it around the back foot.
Yeah, so I do like a circle.
There was a big circle and it was kind of right in the middle.
Yeah, I wouldn't do like that.
No, it'd be around his foot, basically the whole from the top to the bottom, basically. But it's a circle.
Oh,
yeah, it's a lot more like it. Yep. So it's feet kind of clamp into it.
Okay.
And I might even have a square too. So if you want, you could draw 2 lines in it to show where the direction is.
On this guy. Yeah. Oops.
So it's basically like his foot's clipped into the squares, the clips around his foot. Yeah, it's kind of at an angle though.
Yeah.
So if you want to do it the same direction as that one.
This way?
Yep. You might be getting your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Alright. Is that fine for that one, or?
And then if you want to, you could add little squiggles underneath them just to signify that's hovering.
Squiggles.
Just like 2 squiggles on the front and 2 under the back. More just underneath it. More like a wavy kind of pattern underneath the front of it. Not in front of it though, but
Oh,
yeah, kind of like that, but a little farther back.
back here?
Yeah. Like, yeah, kind of like that, but not as far out. Yeah, like that. Yeah. And you can put another one under both of them.
Middle?
No, just under each one of those. Make a smaller one. It kind of signifies it's hovering.
I see. Okay.
Lovely. You can put one on the back side if you wanted to, just so that's wiggling, like right in that corner there.
Right here?
Yeah. Just, but kind of at an angle where the angle to the back of the board.
Oh, I see. I see.
Like a 45-degree angle. That's not bad, but like that. Yeah, but closer to the corner. Like across the corner there. But not right up against it. Yeah, like that. And another one too, just yeah, so it shows movement basically.
Nice.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
And you can make squiggles if you want, or that's fine too.
That's fine.
Okay.
And it actually has two of the little feet things. Does both feet clip in? Actually looks like right there and
Yeah, it's underneath it though.
Oh, it is, okay. That's fine then. Okay,
So you could draw little circles coming and poking out from the bottom if you wanted to, just little tiny squares but poking out the bottom kind of thing to show where those little things are. Yeah, like that. Yep. And that way they can tell easily it's the one from Back to the Future. So the little areas that hovered.
Too big for that. It's a little too much. Alrighty. So that's good for that. And then I get to color.
It'd be good to draw a horizon in there.
Guess.
So behind them. So just a line wherever you want the horizon to be. So you know, if you want like a line right across behind them kind of thing.
Let's try. I should put you in that line.
Yeah, that lines up pretty good. See, that brings kind of like grounds it a lot better, right?
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to, like remember how Marty goes across the water, you could make it like a little water path there on both, you know, from here to here.
How do I do that?
Kind of the same thing with just follow the horizon lines and put one on below it, one above it.
So down here.
Yeah, just all the way across. Yep. And then one right above over there on the hoverboard.
Right here.
But, a little higher up, wherever you had it a minute ago.
Up here?
Yeah, that's good.
All the way across?
Yep. And then that way when you color it in, that could be water versus the other part being ground.
I see, okay. Yeah, I'll just do that.
If you wanted to, you can undo it and move it down farther so it's so close to the horizon line.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Put it like almost, yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
There you go.
Could even be a sidewalk, you know, at that point.
Could be.
And if you wanted to, you could look up just futuristic building shapes just to see and put a couple of squares in the background with those on there. Try to add like randomness to them.
Yeah.
You can't think of any offhand.
Buildings?
Yep.
Yeah, they're more.
So this has some cool ones. Like these ones right there, they have different shapes. So they have, well, it's just that one's like a bit of a triangle. Yeah, just
yeah.
Yeah. You draw some squares in the background, like tall rectangles, just to show normal buildings. And you can draw some that are, you know, the weird, you know, make them all, you know, tall and rectangle-ish. But then you can just change their shape when you, you know, get up to the top. Make them, you know, like those ones down there that bend in weird directions. Yeah. The other ones, they're curved.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, try and add one of those, the triangle ones. Those are pretty easy to do.
The one on the far left or which one?
No, the one that looks like a triangle.
The one in the middle?
Yeah, second one.
Like this guy down here?
Nope. The one that looks like a triangle.
Well, that looks like a triangle in the middle.
That looks like something else with Darth Vader.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, the one with 3 sides to it.
Yeah, weird one.
Yep. That's why it looks futuristic.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, undo yours, but
That's fine. That worked. More circular, but.
Yeah, you can't see from that angle. You put it right behind him, just because that way you can actually see the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll put it right into his.
Here then?
You can put it behind him, just not right into the tip of his thing. You don't want
here?
lines intersecting. Yeah, and you can make it shorter too. That's fine.
That work?
Yep, that works. And then you can put a couple more. Just try and do random shapes like that. Try not to stick to rectangles. Just try and change them around a little bit in some way. Yeah, you can make them kind of squiggle along the sides or whatever you want to do. Yeah, that one looks nice too. Just unusual buildings in a way.
Yeah. I'm not really sure where to bring the shape from that though.
Hmm?
I don't know where to bring the shape in from that though.
That's fine. It doesn't have to. It just has to be slightly different than a normal rectangle. Even that one, you could change it in some way. Just take off the top and then just change one of the sides slightly. That way, it's a unusual rectangle building. Because in the future, they don't do things the same way as us. Do everything slightly odd.
Yeah, sounds alright.
You can do a bigger brush too for the eraser. I made it so that the eraser and the pen have different sizes.
Okay.
So it remembers your eraser shape independently of your pen shape.
Very nice. That's a very nice feature.
Hmm?
It's a very nice feature.
Mm-hmm. It'd be nice if we get rid of the hover state on the eraser, so you can actually tell when it's on or off.
This way.
But yeah, with futuristic stuff, you can go whatever way you want. Yeah, to your heart's content. Do
Similar to that guy too.
just buildings are usually taller than they are wide, and they have two vertical lines.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always true. And you might want to have that line go out a little farther just because you don't really want two lines intersecting.
Which line?
That one just a little farther. So see, these two lines are basically right on top of each other. So you just push that one out slightly and then pull it down.
This guy out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit and then come down. That way it's clear where the two shapes are coming apart. Or different shape rather.
Yeah. Alright.
And since you have buildings on both sides of them, you might want to have one just behind him too somehow, but just not coming right out of his middle of his head. You'd have it attached to that building, just have another one come out of there. But you might want space between the other ones though, just so it's not like one giant row of buildings all connected to each other. They usually have spaces in between them. Probably fine, but you probably don't want to have it curving right around him. You probably just want it straight down or straight or over.
Connected them again almost.
What's that?
It's almost connected to him again like it was before.
Yeah, but not quite, so that's at least something.
Yeah, that works. Alright.
Additionally, you might want to just cut off this building like right there or something like that. Oops. Just so that there's some space between this building and that building.
Over here somewhere?
Yeah, just that's one building right there. You can just move this one up like that or something. Yeah, so that way there's a little space between them. That way they're kind of separated, and then delete that extra lines. So you made an interesting shape. So that's kind of futuristic looking, where it's top heavy.
Yeah, maybe so.
Do more or less about trying to think about the rules. Like even this one, has kind of a neat shape to it too. So it's kind of thick on the top and thin on the bottom.
And
then I don't know if you want, you can start coloring it in.
Yeah, maybe.
So you want to create a new layer, and then you'll put it underneath the drawing sketch. You have to hold on to it. It's easier to do it with your finger since what's called a pen, it's always moving slightly. So that should actually move pretty easily. Not sure why it doesn't want to move right now. That is one behind there, but yeah, I'm not sure why this one doesn't want to move right now.
I just delete it.
Yeah, let's hide that one.
Alright.
Screen's not very responsive.
I still have to color around the areas, right? Like I'll have to color around the glasses, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, you don't have to right away. You can just fill it in with that yellow right now, and then probably want to use a bigger brush though. You can just go outside the line some, and then after that, kind of just get the big blocks of color everywhere. You know, like now you probably want to just do big blocks of color first. So you don't have to color the lines first. Just color all around them, and yeah, you can do bigger than that even to get the middle of them.
That's pretty hard. That's huge.
That's fine. Just color the middle of them first. And then go back afterwards, and then you know, color in details. You know. You want to color all the big stuff in the scene first, like him, the water underneath him, you know, skateboard, all that stuff, and then afterwards you can like you know, add whatever color for the glasses and that kind of stuff.
Hand's gonna be yellow too.
Makes sense. Probably since he's a lemon.
Maybe some yellow everywhere else.
So you could have white hands if you want, like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you do the color behind them, it'll go into his arms again. So that's why you don't have to be too careful with the coloring inside the lens right now, because you're basically gonna undo it in a minute when you do the rest of the background colors.
Oh, okay.
So you try putting in the watercolor now.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful, you know, it'd be good just to draw over his legs basically, and then what's called, then afterwards go back to over that one with the yellow, you know, since there'll be more detail or smaller details, then you can just do the redo the legs. That way you don't have to worry about trying to get a picture, you know, pixel perfect. Just draw over basically everything, and don't worry about, you know, yeah, and then afterwards you can draw over things that are smaller and smaller details, so it saves time.
I guess so.
You can draw outside of the lit lines too, since the dirt's gonna be yeah, and also sometimes that happens, and even on my drawing, when you draw right up to the lines, then when you draw the other color right up to the lines too, then sometimes they won't be actually meeting, so you have a little white color in between them. So, and then you can draw, you know, the ground, but you know, or the grass or whatever it is, and then you know, draw the sky colors, and then draw the buildings, as you know. And since the buildings are behind them, you can kind of do that atmospheric perspective, or whatever color you make the sky, you can make the buildings kind of like a faded out version of that.
Yeah, it's a lot more detail than I was planning to do.
Let's see, I want to afterwards you want to get closer on the spots there where it's missing the color, like near the water and near the sky and stuff. But then after you can do the big stuff first though. Let's see, when you have it all colored in, you basically don't even need the line drawings to some degree.
That's true. Yeah.
It's fine, you can redo the yellow afterwards.
Yep. That's better before going to the colors. Is that fine?
Yep, that works. Right. Right up here with the buildings, so you might want to, otherwise there'll be a little white there. See?
Right again, sir.
And then you have to think of the sky color you want. That'd be more like a washed out blue, or unless you wanted to be more like a futuristic, it could be like a night blue, you know, almost like a dark blue. In the future, it's all dark.
I guess so.
I remember when he goes into Biff's world.
Yep, that's true.
It's all nighttime the whole time.
The whole time, yep. Good point.
And that's an easy way. You also make the buildings look more like buildings. You can put little lights on them after you get the colors in. You can just draw over the buildings right now too.
I know.
I think if you can still see them there. Yeah, you can still see the lines.
Hopefully.
And you can always do a bigger brush too if you want to make it easier on yourself. And then you want to do the buildings kind of like a less bright, more bright version of that. So just bring up the brightness a little bit. So just do the same color, but just increase the brightness. But yeah, that'd probably be good. Try doing the buildings like that. Then you might have to zoom in and do a smaller brush to get them. Yeah. So now you're doing more detailed stuff. You can just do a bigger brush into the middles of all of them, and then go back and then do a little brush for the edges. So it's usually fastest to do. And your lemon's not yellow anymore.
Yep, it's multicolored.
But all the colors are nice and blending together. There's no gaps in between them, it looks like, so that's good.
Yeah, they look pretty darn blended actually.
Yeah, it always sucks when you do a drawing and then you realize you have white gaps in between each one of your colors. So then you have to go grab your colors and go right up to the edges, and usually you're overlapping a little bit here and overlapping a little bit there.
Yeah, it's hard to see too sometimes with the glove because I can't always see where it's at. Like when I'm up above, it always looks like I'm going too far over the line, but then I'm not most of the time, so I'm like, okay. I feel like I'm going over the line and I feel like it's way too much, but it's actually not as much as you think it is. Yeah, it's not really.
What are you looking for now?
Lighter blue.
What for?
For the windows.
I would do like yellow because it'll be kind of like a nighttime, so like a yellowish color.
Yeah.
But not quite yellow, like a dark yellow, because nighttime yellow.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be. You can see how it looks. Put a couple windows on one of them and see if it's bright enough or darker. You could also, if you want to make it easier on yourself, you can make
square brush.
What's that?
Square brush? Or?
No, just go back a bit. Or did you go back to it before? Yeah, just instead of drawing a square in there, draw just like a just do a bit of like just a circle. Just do a that way these windows are tiny little windows, so there'll be lots of them. So just so you just draw basically just squiggling, not that small, but a little bit bigger than that. So just scribbling a tiny bit. Basically, like scribbling a circle. Yeah, it's not bad, but you could always
That?
Yeah, you probably want them smaller than that though. That's a big building, so the windows are gonna be really small. Yeah, it works. Yeah, see, they don't have to be too big, and you can just put a couple on each building too. You don't have to really fill in all the details. See, your brain fills in the rest of the details there. I can't remember if, do you know if the horizon gets darker towards the bottom or towards the top?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's...
We'll just pretend it's towards the bottom.
I think towards the bottom.
So
yeah.
grab that color, your sky color.
Mm.
Yep, and then make it like go into the brightness and make it brighter.
Oops. Oops.
And I have the eraser on too, so you can turn that off.
Yeah.
And then make it brighter, like maybe like 50% brightness. Say halfway up there. Yep, and then put opacity down to like 10% or so. And then yeah, then hit OK. And then make the brush pretty big, like 50. So that's what let's see what 100 looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger than that even. Maybe like 150. Yeah, try that. And then kind of brush in the top to make it lighter. Yeah, and then bring it down slightly over time. See, like that. Just a little bit, so there's some gradient to it. And maybe a little bit less brightness actually. Then go down to like 4% opacity. Yeah, just do like one layer at the top. Yeah, just so that the top makes a smooth gradient, so the very top is the lightest, and then it goes smoothly into the normal darkness color. Yeah, like that. That gives it a bit of a gradient look to it. So it looks good.
Yeah, that's good overall.
You gotta fill in the colors for him, make him lemon or yellow lemon. Give him some nice glasses and the pink board or whatever.
Yeah, whatever color it's gonna be.
What's that?
Or whatever color it's gonna be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just practicing.
Yeah.
And remember, you can fill it in the mouth and stuff like that too, and the glasses if you want, you know, or go right up to it, and then afterwards you're gonna fill in other stuff in there. So you just do the big areas first, and then afterwards you go back and do the small areas. So it's looking good.
Slowly. Slowly. Process.
Yeah, once we get better at it, we'll be able to do it a lot faster.
Yeah.
More practice.
Have to remember this kind of process too, like you said. And yeah, line art and then doing the
Colors behind it.
yeah, the fill colors basically all behind it, you know, like the solid colors, yeah, pretty much, and then doing this minute details at that point.
And later on, if we want to make it look more advanced, we can also do highlights and shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So once people do the base layers, they usually do the or base colors, they usually do the highlights and the shadows. I think it looks pretty futuristic.
Relatively.
Okay.
As good as you can.
Yeah.
White Mickey Mouse.
Well, I should pull up Cyberpunk references next time, huh?
Yeah. The goggles
Make them
was
look
a good
Keanu
idea,
Reeves.
though.
What's that?
The goggles was a good idea, though, for the Cyberpunk stuff.
And the surfboard kind of gives it away too, I think. But hopefully,
Yeah.
little lines on there.
The hoverboard guy, yeah. Or the, yeah.
Yeah, hoverboard.
Whatever he is. Thank you. Yeah.
And color in his glasses some more, or
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the glasses right now.
yeah, if you want, you can pull up the reference again too.
Yeah,
I think you just go back a couple times. Yeah, more.
Yeah, glasses I don't know.
More, two more.
That's fine.
There.
Glasses, yeah.
So those ones are kind of neat with the rainbow glasses.
Yeah, I've seen those, but I was supposed to think like that one, just for something more simple.
The pinkish one, but if you do the hoverboard is pink, though, you probably wouldn't want to have both of those.
Pink and pink, yeah.
Yeah, but those ones would be pretty easy to do with like a orange in the middle, then green on the side, then blue on right next to that. So it's kind of rainbowish. So the color bands kind of. I think it's orange right in the middle, and then green off to the side a little bit.
It's a lower opacity, right?
No, that's fine. You can do this, and then once you're yeah, so afterwards you can blend them all together. and then do green off to the side of those. You can get it right over, do right over the orange a little bit too, since you don't want to have the blue gap in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom. And then blue, blue, and then purple, and then might be orange again. But I might be able to be done by then. Yeah, so it definitely would look futuristic, being all rainbow colored.
Yeah. That's different. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Purplish.
Yep. The thing about it too, it's going through the the whole hue wheel there too.
I was thinking the rainbow. Yeah. Where'd you live?
Yep.
Yeah, so finish off. I can even throw pink in there.
Yeah, you can right over the last little bit with the pink one. Pink or red. Yeah, it works. And if you want to blend it, what you do is so like right around the edges there, see the blue one, so you grab the blue if you wanted to, and then you lower the opacity. Yeah, just something like 5 or so, and then you can kind of right over the other ones a little bit. See, and it kind of blends the theme between them a little more. See, now they're blending in, the green and the blue are kind of blending in together.
Yeah.
And you could also do the same thing with the purple there too. Leave the opacity, yeah. So then you can blend that over the blue a little bit, like that. No, I didn't quite blend.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Even that one right there, you can blend it a little bit too. So you kind of get rid of the hard lines and stuff. Even right here, orange, you can blend it there.
Okay, so you're basically just blending the colors up against each other.
Yep.
Like where the orange meets the green and green meets the blue.
Pushing them into each other a little bit more.
That's really
so
good.
It's hard to see the, you just set it from there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll just clean up around the edges.
Oh yeah, there's some purple on the lemon, huh?
Yeah, that was my fault.
And remember, it's a low opacity right now, so you don't want to raise the opacity again.
Just gonna change the one here. Put it in there.
You just have the hoverboard and then maybe a couple stars in the sky, huh?
Yep. Yeah, the hoverboard with pink thing.
Yeah, just go forward and like 3 again.
2 seconds ago. Hoverboard. Oops, one more. Nope.
Yeah, one more apparently. And another one too. There we are. It's
peachish.
yeah. So you do the peaches color, and then afterwards you can throw in the green lines and like that kind of stuff on top of it. It's a little more, yeah. That's probably pretty much perfect, yeah.
Alright.
You may have to zoom in too.
Yeah, I already did the feet.
And you can do just around there, and then once you get close to the edges like his feet or whatnot, then you can go in with a smaller brush.
Yeah.
Just big areas. You can draw right over that guy since you're just gonna fill him with green afterwards.
Alrighty, and then green for that guy.
Yeah, everything with the square in there though, that's still red though. So you can make the square red and just the outside of the circle green.
Oh, where the feet are? Yeah.
Yep. put those random neon or the white and neon green lines across everything.
I have to.
What's it?
I have to.
You want to make it look a little better. It wouldn't be too hard either.
What guys now?
What's it?
With white like stripes going across?
Yep, just there's 2 across the front of them and then a diagonal.
Can I go like
for
that and that maybe?
Yep.
Mm,
It's completely white.
yeah.
You're passing it down a little bit too, so I don't know if you want to keep it there or not. Maybe it will blend more anyhow.
That's
So.
fine. So that's one. Author.
Yep, that works.
And the back.
Yeah, there's one on the back too. Yep. And then they also have the neons, green ones going the opposite direction.
Neon green. Lime green. Going with okay.
Yeah, they kind of like going. They like go through the 2 white ones right here, but they don't go into them. So they just go on the outside of them. Yep, and then the one goes on the other side, I think, too, and then it goes off in a random different direction. Yep.
And then the back too, or yeah, looks like that might be some.
Yep. And then they have those 2 big yellow stripes across the middle of the board too, right in front of the right in front of the circle there.
Yeah.
So you can do 2 big yellow stripes too.
And then use the yellow stripes.
Yep, or it's a hoverboard.
Let's grab one.
Yeah.
Just go like across that way.
And they're pretty thick though.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah, I think
yeah, that's way too thick.
Yep. That's pretty good.
Oh, the lines are going weird.
What's that?
The lines are all in odd directions.
Yeah.
You should be going probably with the
And
other
they're pretty
lines.
close together. They just have a little tiny gap between them. I got a smaller gap than that. I'm right up against each other, but with the tiniest gap between them. Yep.
Yep.
That's really pretty cool, huh? And you probably want to put some kind of stars in the sky too to really bring it out.
Like white, right?
Yeah, it's a little tiny white. Yep. You want them pretty darn small though. No, you want them smaller than that. So those are kind of a little more. They look more kiddish when they're bigger. Yeah, they're tiny like that. They seem like they're. But see, that's what I see that I did in one of my drawings too. Was you have to. You want to do it faster, but you have to do it up and down pretty distinctly.
Yeah. Good.
If you wanted to, you could add a little bit of darker blue underneath the hoverboard, just to.
The shadow.
Yeah. You could just color pick the.
Color the like that and make it darker.
And you could have a lower opacity if you wanted to, or anything you want.
I guess you can see them.
Yeah, I might need a little bit bigger brush than that. Because there can be a decent amount of darkness underneath there. Yeah, that has a little more depth to it.
Yeah, works.
Yeah.
Trying to zoom out here, but that's not working. There it goes.
And technically, if we had time, but we don't. It's a bit of a night scene. We could also make the grass and the what's called water darker, but that would be kind of more of a thing for the future.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it looks pretty bright compared to the rest of it. You have shadows, and you could, if you wanted to, you could even put the little grass marks on the actual ink layer again, to little tiny grass marks.
Yeah, I understand.
you want to too, you could grab some of the blue and then fill in around the legs and there. Just do yeah, just get it really tight to get it right on under the lines. Might use a small brush though, and make sure the opacity is at 100.
Yeah, I think I just changed it to 100 recently. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it cleans up inside the lens nicely. And on the top of the hoverboard there. You need a little closer just to get rid of that yellow above the black line, because that's a bit of a contrast point. That looks good. So that's a little sharper colors and also do it along the grass and stuff there. Use a bigger brush than that on this part.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see, if you're really careful originally, then it's kind of a bit of a waste of time versus cleaning up a little bit of the edges at the end. It's a lot faster to do it that way.
Yeah.
The bottom part there too. That's looking good for our first
yeah, for first try.
First try in here.
Yeah.
The more we practice, the better we'll get.
Not too shabby.
Hopefully in a year from now things will look a lot nicer, huh? If you want to, you could even do some a little bit of dark with the really low opacity right underneath his feet to really ground him onto the board. See, like right now he kind of looks like he's floating on the board. Something technically that's hoverboard, so it should be, but
so dark. Like
just do black. Like a black, yeah, and then do a opacity of like 5. That works. And just zoom in and do it right underneath his feet. The back one you can't really tell, but the front one is bright. Yep. I mean, the back of his leg a little, back of his foot a little bit too. Yeah. That way it looks a little grounded with the shadow. Kind of like the hoverboard also did with the.
It's a great idea. Helps make things stand out more.
I don't really know how we'd what's it called, make the grass and the river look a little bit more nighttime-ish, but it's not bad.
Play around with it some more if you want.
That's pretty good as it is. If you want to, you could clean up right around the top of his head there. The grass doesn't actually look too big because it looks like it's actually going into shadows as you go farther back.
Okay,
so it actually doesn't look too bad.
Okay, I'll leave that then. It's around him.
Yep. Because right now it looks like he's heavenly, but now it's like low on him. I had the opacity to the low.
Yep.
Let's see, be some more right here.
This guy right here?
Yeah. Yeah, it goes. And on the other side there too. They might have a. I mean, this looks kind of neat, like shadow there, but I think that's green.
Oh, green down here?
Yeah.
The yellow.
But if you want to try out of curiosity, let's see. Actually, you can get his arm too over here too. They just went into the building there. You can control Z if you want. Or I do. That works. If you want to try something just for kicks, though, get black and then make it really low opacity, like 5% again. That's what I find. And then try and draw on the bottom of him, kind of like you do at the top. You know, draw a little bit on the bottom, make it darker on the bottom of him, and then make it less and less dark as it goes up.
Alright, so but like in the actual yellow layer, right?
Yep. You can do it more if you want.
That's fine.
But see, that's pretty dark right already. So if I want to undo that, because you want to start with like kind of like layering on a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it if you want.
I'm good. Let's see. So,
but yeah, just go for lower opacity. Yeah, even 3 is too much apparently on that.
That's not too zero.
Yeah, it works. And then try doing a bigger brush though too. Like 50 or so. That's pretty good.
Oops. Yeah, I can see just barely, but yeah.
Something like that, you know, kind of makes it look a little more three-dimensional.
Yeah,
Zoom in.
that's great. Oh, yeah, that's a little better. That's a weird line though.
Yeah, opacity is low. Yeah,
Oh, darn it, yeah. See, I have opacity.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I had some kind of thing on the side of the color button to show what the opacity was. You know, like a black and white line or something like that, so you could see if the opacity was low.
Yeah, one. Oops. A little bit. Too shabby.
If you wanted to make it look kind of neat, you could put a moon somewhere on the top there too. All you really need is a slightly whitish yellow circle.
White.
You could go a little bit into the yellow territory too.
No.
Yeah, go up to yellow.
Okay.
There you go, and just slightly into the yellow. Yeah, like that. You can go back a little further. Yeah, like that right there. So just slightly yellow. And you can just put a.
Where'd he go?
Just not in the center, probably. Asymmetrical helps.
Side.
Yeah, that works. If you want to make it look nicer, Control Z, and then make it just a big brush first.
Oh, okay.
That way it has a blending look to it, and then now draw it, and it should have more of a smooth edge to it. See, if you do a bigger brush, it'll be even smoother too, but it's not bad.
There you go.
And then, since now you got the moon done, it's a gigantic moon though, huh?
Yeah, just yeah, make it a little smaller and just kind of more like a little accent piece.
Yep, and then make the opacity really low, like 1 again.
Yeah,
that's fine. And then zoom in on the buildings, and whatever side of the buildings facing the moon, make it a really small brush. Yeah, just make it slightly brighter.
You're on the side?
No. So this side's facing the moon.
Yeah.
But no, not outside of the building. You wouldn't have a highlight outside the building. So you have to have it on the building.
Inside here?
Yep.
Nice.
Just a slight highlight. You can, if you
on
want.
that side, but where would you be?
No, it would. So the moon would be hitting from the top left, so it would hit any surfaces that are perpendicular to it. But you could do a bigger brush if you wanted to, and then get it a little farther away. That way it blends a little better. It's only at 1% right now, right?
Should be, yeah. Or
2. Yeah, you just do it a little bit farther in there, yeah, so it blends a little better. And you can zoom out and see. Might be too noticeable. Just a tiny bit there on the top. Let's see if it looks good from far away. Yeah, it looks nicer, right? And then like this one is on the top there. You can put it right across the top, so that's where the moon would be hitting the light from it. And this one you could, I mean, technically that one too. You could put it on that right side there. Just put it on the tip. I might have gone into the sky there, so you want to undo that first. See. Oh no, that's a star, sorry. Yeah, you're fine, sorry. You can redo it if you want. Yeah,
that's fine. Right there.
Yeah, and this one can go across the top too. See, that adds a little bit more dimension to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Now
Just adding a little bit, tiny bit of highlights and a little bit of shadows. Kind of brings things stand out a little bit more.
And it seems to be frozen.
Alright, guys. Wonder what happened.
I don't know.
I think the computer's stopping its hard drive for a minute.
I hope so. I was concerned.
Yeah, I was like, I hope your drawing's not gone.
I was like, I'm gonna be very
That
upset.
would be odd.
That'd be not only odd, but that would be not good at all. I lost my train of thought for a moment. That's stupid.
But yeah.
Alright, can I save it then?
Yep,
Just in case.
Yeah, you can.
Just to save. Or did you finish it, or did you actually save it?
Yeah, I saved it.
Actually saved it then, right?
Yeah, I should have had a
Let's
prompt that
see.
came up. Yeah, see, it didn't
Oh,
save, but
okay,
I
there it
don't know
is.
if it came up the first time or not.
Okay, awesome.
Let's see. One other thing you could do if you want, just do a little bit of dark highlight, or dark shadow right along the bottom of the board on the inside of it, just so that it shows that it's away from the sun, the moon.
Oh, okay.
Just like a black, and then
Black.
yeah, low opacity, yeah,
Okay.
and then big brush, kind of
Yeah.
just to go along the
And
bottom half.
then along down here again?
Yep.
Okay.
And you can bring it up a little bit too. I mean, you could keep doing that a little bit more, but it would get lighter and lighter as it goes up. So you'd make it really somewhat dark on the bottom, and then you'd make it a little bit lighter as it goes up. So you do that a couple times. Kind of blend it into, yep, and then you can make it a little bit over on there too to blend it in more. Right now it's a little bit of a hard shadow, yeah. But you don't want to, yeah, and then all across here too, and the back. Let's see, like that one's still a little hard, so you can blend it in a little bit more. Well, I want to do it because that makes it even harder. So I want to do it higher than that. Yeah, like that. See, but then see, you're doing it more times, so you're making it darker. So the more times you do it, the darker it gets. You only want to do it a couple, like 1 or 2 times. And see, it has a gap there now. So you have to make sure you're right up against there, and then go up a little bit, and then let's see, just up a little bit.
Here?
Yep, just slightly higher than you had. That's fine. See, now you can see it's kind of blended in there.
Yeah.
So like if you let me see for a second. So if you do it really dark, like this, for instance, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to blend it in a little bit at a time, kind of thing like that. So you want to go above it just a bit. So if you wanted to do it a little darker like that, then you want to blend it in a little bit and a little bit, kind of thing. So now it's darker and going slowly into lighter.
Okay.
So that's how you'd kind of do it, is darken it and then kind of lighter, kind of like that. And that would look like, it's going from a shadow, a dark area over there, to slightly darker and slightly darker kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
And so that way the light's coming from that direction, and then it's getting darker over here. Not that bad though.
No, that's good.
Yeah, you can always
Graphics.
play with shadows and stuff, shadows and highlights, and Because with a lot of good artists, that what makes them go from decent to great is just polish, putting more time into it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Figuring out all the different things to do, highlights and shadows and all that stuff. And what you'd want to do is put those in the foreground, because in the background they get really, really small, so then it can kind of mess up the perspective. So in the background, the weeds, the grass would get smaller and smaller and closer together, kind of thing. If you wanted to, you could do instead of doing all the same, you could do just like one of them like that, and then you could just have one of them, being like 3 of them, one of them just being one of them. Kind of do some variety to it. And you can also make it a lot thinner if you wanted to too, since the opacity.
No, just lowered the sparse size. 100% opacity.
Makes that way you can color in parts of it if you wanted to, or not color in other parts of it and stuff like that. So that works too. And they're all in the same line too, so you probably want to have some of them that are a little bit like some of them that are up and some of them are down. And some of them can go over the water too if you wanted to too. That would break that line. That's what you want to do usually, is break lines. It'll kind of look more 3D-ish if they're, you know, going over things. So you want to do like a big one back there that's breaking the line really good. I mean, you can have that one too, but just somewhere, you know, that way some of it's going like over the water.
There you go.
Yep.
Alrighty. Alright. Anything else I should add? You're fine just for stopping, or what?
Yeah, that's good.
Very awesome.
So the only thing I can really see that we have to work on is just making it look like less bright. It's a bit of a nighttime scene now, but it still looks good overall. Stands out there pretty good. You can see it as a thumbnail really nicely.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Alright. I'll sign off.
Yep, signing off.
So this is Chris.
And I'm Megan.
And we're at the ArtClash. Acme ArtClash. And so we'll be drawing lots more and
Hopefully better and not as long.
And get better over time, and do more concise ones.
Once we get the hang of it.
So we'll be practicing pretty often.
Until then, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.